Hi, welcome to my procrastination Sunday. I wanted to start this morning with sewing. It is now 3:45. My toxic trait is that I think I can totally do this, but in reality, I can't. Maybe I can though. Let's just try. I really want to make the new Barbie dress that she wears in the trailer. She wears a few different versions of this in the trailer, and I'm gonna do like a mishmash? Like a mix of those dresses and make it into something that I'll actually wear in the summer. We're not doing it in pink like the trailer because my skin tone is really pink, and if I wear pink, I look like a marshmallow. I've had this lying around for literally since I started sewing. My mom gave it to me from when she was sewing, but she didn't know what to do with it. Or I think, did you? I don't know. Question mark. I'm using a pattern that I proudly drafted for my bedsheet dress. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. It's great. In the trailer you can see that it's actually darts, but I hate darts, so we're not doing darts. We're just doing like a 3-piece bodice, or 4, 5.
Okay, hi. I hope everybody could follow that. That was a bit chaotic. But the first thing I actually had to do is copy the pattern that I made onto paper because I never did that. I just started sewing and I thought I would deal with that later, and it is later and I had to do it. So first we are putting it onto pattern paper. You can see these are all the pieces. We have the front one, which is cut on the fold. We have the side piece and we have a back piece. These are not that correct. I think I drafted them a bit wrong. You'll see I had to adjust it later. This is the fabric. I think I had about 2.5 meters, but I used it way less. I had a zipper and some blue thread as well. And we're gonna start pinning all of these pieces to the fabric that I definitely should have ironed. I'm putting everything on fold so that when I cut it out, I have 2 pieces. And you can see the front center part is directly on the fold so that when you take it apart, it's doubled in size. Magical. And because I was feeling fancy, I added a lining. I love to do this in my dresses because I think it just elevates it a bit. To do that, we just cut out everything twice. So everything you just saw, I did it all again so that we have the identical bodice for the lining that we can then later sew together. So here is what the bodice looks like, all of the pieces. Oh yeah, I tried straightening them with my straightening iron. It did not work. It just made them look like, gave them really weird shapes. So don't recommend that. But here for your enjoyment, please view my wonderful aesthetic sewing montage.
I just realized every time it focuses on something else, I'm afraid it's a ghost. So I just realized I did one of the bodice, like the lining part, wrong. I attached the first one I made at the 2 peaks, which is not right because it's supposed to be attached next to it, and that's why I tried it on and it looked really weird, but for some reason I convinced myself that that's what it's supposed to look like. I have to take it apart again, but you know, what else is new? Hello. It's the second day. Someone lost motivation today after making a stupid mistake, so we're doing the circle skirt today. I would like to say that it's my own pattern and I did it wrong. What does that say about my brain? Nothing good. Let's make the circle skirt.
To make a circle skirt, I always use a circle skirt calculator. I just use a one on a website. I think I even use the one from Mood. I'm not sure. But you just put in your measurements and how long you want it, so your waist measurement and how long you want the skirt to be. And you decide what kind of skirt you want. I'm doing a half circle skirt. And it gives you your waist radius and how you could put it on your fabric. It doesn't always work, but you'll figure it out. I believe in you. This was a bit cursed. My pen broke halfway through. The fabric kept like bushing up, like scrambling up. And it was just a bit annoying.
This was the most chaotic circle skirt I've ever made in my life. My marker broke, so I used just a pencil. Do not recommend. Also, I'm measuring something wrong. What's this? I'm pretty sure this dress is cursed. Somebody does not want me to wear it. Okay, maybe because, theory, this fabric has been in my mom's cellar for 30 years. Maybe it's haunted.
After mourning the loss of my unrealistic expectations of finishing this dress in one day, after a few days, I finally had the motivation to take apart the bodice and correct my mistake. So I took it apart and attached it again at the right places. Now it's fine. And then I made the straps. I made 4 of them. They're rather thick. Not that thick, actually. I don't know why I said that. They're not. I made them 63 centimeters long. I made 4 of them, cut them out of my fabric, sewed them together. There's no right or wrong side with my fabric, so that was easy. So I sewed them together and flipped them all inside out after cutting down the edges. I broke my loop turner a while ago, so I am using a safety pin. It was very, very frustrating. So if you feel like at the moment you need some character building activities in your life, I would highly recommend that. If you're already on the edge, I would not, because this will send you. Now all that was left to do is to pin my newly transformed straps into the right places and wedge them in between my lining layer and the outside layer and sew all along the upper edge, making sure that your straps stay in place, because otherwise you will sew them wrong and you will cry.
We are almost done, but I've run into a small technical problem, which is kind of embarrassing because it's my pattern. Well, it's not a pattern. I mean, I guess it is. I don't know. But I drafted it and somehow I copied it wrong. I'm very annoyed about it because I think the only way to fix it is to add darts, which is annoying because I've already attached the lining. So it's gonna be ugly. Do you see here? There's a lot of gaping, like it's a bit weird. You see? Not great. And there's a lot of like extra fabric here. So I think I'm just gonna put 2 rather unaesthetic, unplanned darts into this, just like here, and call it a day, because I've been working on this dress for a while. Might have been too long.
Here are my super cute little darts that I added. I don't know why I was being so dramatic. They're really not that bad. It was annoying because now it's outside of the lining and usually the lining hides something like this. But you know, we're good. It's fine. Now it is bow time. I first made a much too skinny little bow. It was not impressive. You would have seen it and you would have cried because it did not look good. She doesn't know yet. She thinks she's on the right track. I can tell you she is not. After my sad little failure, I actually decided to do some research and look online and learn how to actually make a bow. I found some really good tutorials. I'll link one of the ones I used most in the description. But I'll try to show you here what I did. These are the measurements, and then you just fold it together and cut down the edges so they're pointy like this. And so all along the top, leaving a part in the middle free because we need this part to turn it inside out. So you sew down, leaving a gap at the top. When you get to the corners, leave the needle in, lift up the foot, turn it, put the foot down, and continue sewing. And then you just flip it inside out. It's very satisfying as always. Also, look, do you notice something? I have a loop turner. That's how much time passed. I ordered one. It took a week and then I continued sewing. But yeah, create a shape like this. Then take whatever you have. I only had dental floss. It worked well. I believe in dental floss. And you just wrap it up nice and tight. It should already look pretty good, but then to just make it even a bit better, we're taking a tiny piece of fabric and turning that inside out as well, and we're using that to just wrap it around the bow and then hand stitch it down. And voila, you've created a bow and a dress, and it only took you a few weeks even though you thought it was gonna be a day.